Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, the following message is not for the faint of heart. It's not rated G. It's rated NC-17. Because the good Lord had placed on my heart this rant that I'm about to go off on when it comes to Chris Cuomo. But before we get in that, my name is Greg Foreman, and you're watching a Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black Conservative Perspective, aka a liberal's worst nightmare. Let's get it. All right, guys. So watch this rant from Chris Cuomo on CNN regarding President Trump returning to the White House after getting corona.
Tell me why I'm right to hate him. Tell me why I'm right to love him. Does anybody really need to tell you anything? There he is, hair blown majestically, reshooting the scene for his own ad. I hold rallies, and I tell you to ignore masks, and I rip mine off as I vanquish the virus because I am a leader. Fear not, COVID. What a bunch of bullshit.
Bullshit is exactly what I think about you on CNN. It's exactly what I think about you in the media. Chris, your head is so far up President Trump's ass that you should be his prostate doctor. Because at this point, you in the media have what I like to call STD, which is what some of you guys in the comment section has helped me term systemic Trump derangement syndrome. And you're a hypocrite because you're sitting here judging President Trump for trying to show strength and not trying to look weak and trying to encourage Americans not to let this virus take over their lives. You're judging this man for just trying to be a leader. When you had corona, you did the exact same thing. Look.
All right, here it is. The official re-entry from the basement. Cleared by CDC. A little sweaty. Just worked out. Happens. This is what I've been dreaming of, literally, for weeks.
So you filmed this fake bullshit photo op of you coming out of your basement like you've been down there the whole 2 weeks and you haven't, because you was caught outside by a biker who you got in an argument with. But you sit here and you got the cojones to try to judge the president for doing the exact same thing that you did. And see, this is my problem with the media. This is my problem with the media and people like Chris Cuomo. They think they're above the American people, that they're better than us, that they know more than we do, that they know more than scientists do, they know more than doctors do, that they have all the answers, that we are children, and we're children that must be told what to do. Wear your mask. Put that condom over your mouth. And if you don't do it, you're a bad person. When they can do whatever they want. Nancy Pelosi can go to the hair salon and do whatever she wants. But you're not sitting here coming out judging her and trying to virtue signal to her and trying to talk to her like she's a child because she didn't wear a mask. And then you try to sit here and act like, well, just because you don't want to wear a mask or you're skeptical about wearing a mask, that you don't believe the science or that you're against science. When the science is unsettled. When this first happened, the CDC came out and said, we shouldn't wear masks. There's no need to wear masks. That's what they said. Then all of a sudden, they told everybody that they had to start wearing masks, even if it was just a little cloth. So yeah, people are going to be confused. People are not going to know what to do. People are going to be skeptical. And then you, the media, being hypocrites, you never cover anything that the Democrats do when they don't wear a mask. Joe Biden gives a speech, he ain't wearing a mask. He walk off stage, he ain't wearing no mask. But you never say anything about it. You don't care because your job is to be a paid shield. You make $6 million a year and then you go in an interview talking about, you don't really like my job like that. Corona, you made me look, I hate my job. I hate being partisan. So quit. Quit. Let me take your job. I'll go do your job for $6 million a year where I can just sit on TV and talk shit all day. Let me get it. Since you don't appreciate your job, don't sit here and try to talk to me like I'm a child and try to paint the president as a child because he's trying to go out there and show strength when you did literally the exact same thing that he did. And this is why we can't trust the media. This is why we can't trust people like you, Chris, because you full of it. And then you want to go out here and blame the president for 200+ deaths when most of the deaths happened in your brother's state. Now, how would you like it if I went out here and I said that Andrew Cuomo is responsible for 30+ deaths in New York? New York has the highest deaths per capita from corona outside of New Jersey. So I should walk around here and say that Andrew Cuomo is responsible for that. He's responsible for 30+ deaths. But see, if I framed it that way, you wouldn't like it. And that's exactly what we should start doing. We have to start reversing the framing, because nobody ever talks about the fact that most of the deaths from this virus are coming from these Democrat-run states in the Northeast. What you need to be worried about is the fact that there's people, specifically Jews in New York City, that's protesting and rioting right now because of these coronavirus restrictions and lockdowns. Speaking of lockdowns and restrictions, the media has no proof that these lockdowns and restrictions actually work. They don't have any proof whatsoever that they work. None, zero, none, not a zip. Because the part of the country that's been locked down the most, again, like I've said 1,000 times, has had the most deaths. You have no proof that wearing masks and locking down is the right way to go. That's what you should be doing. Hospitals have not been overwhelmed. Sweden didn't have any lockdown at all. Their hospitals are not overwhelmed. That disproves the whole hospital myth in the first place, which is why we required the lockdowns and the masks. We didn't want to overcrowd the hospitals. But you guys go on TV and you and the whole media have a circle jerk over Trump wearing a mask. Oh my God, Trump's not wearing a mask. Now he's wearing a mask, but it's still not good enough. He's not wearing a mask. He's wearing a mask. You do that every single day. All day, just whining and complaining about President Trump and what he does, when you need to be covering real stories like the fact that there's protests all over the world of people that are tired of these lockdown restrictions and this authoritarianism that's coming from this virus. That's what you actually need to be worried about. Nobody's talking about that. And the media perpetuate these lies and these myths by trying to make it seem like this virus is the worst thing in the world. But yet, they don't abide by the rules. They don't wear masks. They don't quarantine. They don't do any of that. The Democrats don't do it. These same liberals that's out here trying to tell everybody, oh man, Corona's so bad. You gotta do this, you gotta do that. They out here partying. They out here in the street. They out here going out. They ain't wearing no mask. They having kickbacks. They living life. But they're trying to virtue signal and judge you because you like, oh, I'm skeptical over a mask. I don't want to wear a condom over my mouth when I go to the grocery store. I'm a bad person. But as soon as they get in private, they out here partying. They ain't wearing no mask. They living it up. Same thing with people like Chris Cuomo. I'm sorry, man, but this dude is a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. He's a clown. Him and Don Lemon. All these people in the media, clowns. They sit on TV with a nice, cushy, $1 million jobs, and they act like they're above the fray. They're above everybody. Like they're the adults in the country. Trying to tell everybody, just wear a mask, just wear a mask. Pushing authoritarianism. And then as soon as President Trump said, hey, you know what, everybody got to wear a mask, everybody can be on lockdown, you would call him an authoritarian and a fascist. The media is not interested in the truth. All they're worried about is just making President Trump look bad. They're really mad about the fact that Donald Trump is kicking his virus ass. They're mad about the fact that Donald Trump is not on his deathbed, struggling to breathe on a ventilator. That's what they're mad about. They're mad because President Trump recovering so fast from the virus goes against the narrative that the media has worked so hard to push and to build for the last 6-7 months about this virus. President Trump is 70-some years old. He's overweight. He's technically in the at-risk group. And when you see somebody like him come back so fast, they get pissed about it. They're mad because, again, it goes against the BS that they've been pushing on the American people for the last 6 or 7 months, where they want you to be forced on lockdown while they go out and they live life and they enjoy themselves. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. President Trump gets in the car with a mask on, everybody's wearing a mask. He's a bad person. He's spreading the virus. I know that President Trump is a super spreader. How do you know? You don't know that President Trump is a super spreader. You have no idea whether he's spreading the virus or not. I had got the virus. I couldn't give it to nobody if I tried. I spent a whole hour in a car with a friend. Whole hour. No mask. He didn't get it. My family members didn't get it. You have no idea who can spread this virus and who can't. You don't know anything about the signs. You don't know anything about whether or not these numbers are actually real or not. The CDC said only 6% of the COVID deaths are just from COVID only. You don't know anything about it. You're trying to act like you know more than you actually do. But then when President Trump goes to the White House and takes a video of it and he's not wearing a mask, oh, he's the worst person in the world. He's terrible. Okay, so do you want him to wear a mask or you don't? Because when he wears a mask, you got a problem. When you don't wear a mask, you got a problem. So just admit you just don't like President Trump. Stop sitting here trying to act like it's about the mask. It's not about the mask. It's about him. Just say, I don't like the president. I don't care what he does. I'm going to hate him. I'll respect you a lot more for it. I really would. Instead of pretending like you're objective and that you have all the facts when you don't. Just say I don't like him. It's all about political partisanship. Look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden, Kamala, they don't wear no mask. When they doing their speeches, they ain't wearing no mask. They walk off stage, they ain't wearing no mask. Nancy Pelosi went to the salon, no mask. Had the economy closed for everybody else. Closed down all these businesses. Nope, open up the business for me. You didn't say anything, nothing. You didn't get mad about that. You didn't say anything about the protest. CNN called it fiery but peaceful. Nothing. COVID apparently goes away when the protests come around. When the protests come around, people out in the streets destroying property, destroying people's lives, and spreading COVID, by the way, oh, all of a sudden it's not a big deal. If what you believe is that COVID has killed over 200,000 people, if you really believe that, then you would think that COVID would take precedence over going out and protesting in the streets over police brutality, which at most kills 1,000 people a year. What sense does that make? It doesn't even make sense by the numbers. You're supposed to be a fact guy. So if you're not about facts, then at the very least your priorities are out of line. If your priorities are out of line, then why are you giving me my news? But again, this is why people don't trust you, and you distort the truth, and you don't care about objective facts. All you care about is pushing the Democrat narrative. That's all you care about. And I just wish you would be upfront about it. Just say, I don't like President Trump, and that's it. Just keep it moving. I don't like him. I'm going to talk shit about him. I don't like him. Just say that. If all the super liberals that might come in my comment section talking about, when you telling people not to wear masks and you telling people to be irresponsible, are you trying to spread COVID? No. Obviously, there's people whose family members have been affected by COVID, right? Only thing I'm saying is that don't judge people because they just don't want to wear a mask. If you see somebody not wearing a mask in public, all you have to do is just stay away from that person. Don't come in contact with that person. That's all you got to do. That's literally all you got to do. Just keep your distance. That's all you got to do. You don't have to judge that person, think that person's a bad person, or try to, act like you are better than that person just because they don't want to wear one. It's not that big of a deal. Just keep your distance. That's all you got to do. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about Chris Cuomo and this little rant. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.